Life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you decide. I remember when I was training to become a British Sign Language interpreter. I was halfway through my training at the time, and the tutor had just given us a assignment to just a practical thing. We've learned a few phrases and some handshake. We're working on a particular handshake at the time. And we then had to then practice and after a while come and present to the wider class. And my colleagues were there like going for it and doing this stuff. I just sat and picked a corner in the room where I just saw myself practicing, doing the shapes, doing the what I had to do. And I did that because that was how my dyslexic brain would allow it to go into my long term, allow it for me to be able to get it. I guess I can do a video on how my dyslexic brain works or how I how it flows. But anyway, so in that moment, the tutor then was like came back to check on how we were doing and seeing everybody there like going and then it's like in a corner. And he's like, why you're not practicing? I'm like, I am practicing. She's like, your hand's not waving, like she just motioned like, and I'm like, yeah, I am. I have seen myself. So I'm there trying to explain what I just said, like, and she's like, what? So she wasn't getting. I just, oh yeah, I'm dyslexic. So I didn't even finish the rest of the sentence. And she's like, you're dyslexic. So what are you doing here? You can't be an interpreter. You need help. So how are you going to help deaf people? Like, how's that? It never crossed my mind that it was a thing that I couldn't be. The interpreter because I kind of like stumbled into this career. It was just like an opportunity came on and I got in and I was just going to flow and like and the hobby was become like this could be a thing. Like and then when she said that, it's like everything just went crashing down. Like I guess well like what do I get to do now? And I was so miserable. Went home and I guess the misery just carried on flowing and it just had like it just affected everything. I was just moody. I was just kind of like down, like, wow, I could. My husband then sat down, like, look, babe, um, it's okay if you don't want to do this anymore, then like if you want like whatever you decide. But the thing is, you're affecting the rest of us, and it's unbearable and stuff like that. Like sometimes you don't, you know what I mean? Like anyway. So after that conversation, I was like, oh, okay, but maybe then I just let this thing go. And then a couple of days later. Michael Jackson was coming to town. He was doing his final tour here in London, and he was being interviewed by one of our national news outlet at the time. And they asked him about the tour, and he said, and it was called "This Is It." And then he was explaining again all I heard from that thing because I was still in that my shallow moment space, and I heard was "This is it." And I just said to myself, yeah, this is it for me too. I'm going to be that interpreter. I didn't know what I was doing at the time, that like what I was saying. Like I just said that this is it. And this is the thing. Decision and desire, like the confidence comes after you have made that decision. Like this is it. Like whatever that is for you. So I want to like just employ you and ask you like where in your life or what is it that you need to make that decision on, that you need to make that call and say, I'm doing this. Like, I want you to think about it. Is it that you're making a decision that you want to play full out to become that interpreter or full out like, or like, I'm going to start posting or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Whatever that is, I want you to think about it and then decide. Because decision, think about it this way. It doesn't have to be massive. It doesn't have to be big. It could even be a decision about do I have a small cone ice cream or do I have a big cone ice cream? Like what's the size of ice cream that I want to like have and play with right now? Or like you're a dancer, but you're standing on the sideline and you're not in the midst of the dancing. You're not flowing. You're not like joining in. Do you know what I mean? Like you're not in that thing. Because if you are like not fully committed to doing a thing or you're just halfway in, then you're just gonna get the haphazard of whatever it is that that decision needs to be made. Because where your life is right now is depending on how like are you like truly in the thing you're saying you want to do? Because having those decisions doesn't mean that the fear is gone, the imposter is gone, like whatever, like you now know everything. It's not. It's like making that like, okay, making the call. I'm doing this. I'm playing full out. This is how things are gonna be. The how, because when you do that, like your brain is then like rewiring, like, okay, th- firing, like, okay, we've done this, but we don't know how yet, but we're like like the neurons are like connecting to say this is where we're flowing. This is the lane we are going into. Like this is how we're going to like do that thing because that decision is rewiring the brain, is giving a vote. Like you're saying votes to your becoming. That decision is like saying, yes, I am leaning into the faith that I know that I am doing the thing that I said I'm going to do. The how. And all those things will come with time. But having that stake in the ground that I am doing this thing, this is where I am at, this is how I want to show up. Because with the decision and the vision, with the clarity and all those things will come. But the initial thing is that stake. Because when I made that decision, then the opportunity like, okay, I'm sure I'm not the only one who's like dyslexic that wants to be an interpreter or is an interpreter. Let me go and see if there's anyone out there. You see, because I made that decision, then I started finding like, okay, what I get to do, and then how like the opportunity will start showing up, but the decision has to be made first. And then with those daily small actions or whatever would then build up that confident muscle or stuff like that. But without that radical decision, without that saying that, yes, I choose me, yes, this is where I'm rolling, this is what I'm doing, then it's not going to be like it won't be like flush out. So what I really implore you today is to really take the time in whatever it is that you're deciding. Am I deciding that, you know what, I'm going to move upstate and move somewhere else? Or I'm deciding that I choose me. I'm going for that promotion. I am doing that regardless of the how, regardless of what that gets to look like, regardless of whatever it is, but making that stake. And this is a series that I am doing right now for the identity shift for interpreters and whoever that desires to really make that embodiment of self. But it all starts with that first step to decide that this is what you want. We're deciding that we're going to rework and reward our identity, the confidence in ourselves, the way we show up, the way we do stuff. So from this now, we then start working at sexy. So for this, so this is like the beginning of the series that we're going to be showing up here every single day for the next 30 days to really employ us to start taking our stake and owning ourselves the way we show up fully embodied. And the first step is to make that decision. So, what are you deciding in the comment section to start doing and taking forward as we take this journey together? To then, see you tomorrow.